He's in for a hell of a surprise. He thinks he's going to go out there and hop, skip, and a step and a right hand, as he says. He has no idea the pain.
Tell you, mate.
Listen, I don't like Chris. I don't have to like him, but no one's out to hurt anybody here, you know. And it's a shame that he lives in that world of paranoia where he genuinely believes that anybody's out to get him, because nobody really is. And it's for his toenail. I couldn't care less about his toenail.
Conor Benn and Eubank Jr. just fired at each other in a live interview, and the tension was electric. Benn sounds bitter, even hinting at revenge in their potential rematch. But revenge is born from frustration, not confidence. Eubank Jr., cool and composed, knows that grudges don't win fights. Skills do.
No, do you know what it is? I mean, you could say like father, like son, but I just don't feel like he's my cup of tea. Like, I don't like.
Oh, you just don't like him?
I don't like him. No, I don't like him. But I don't have to like him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why do I?
I am taking Eubank's head clean off his shoulders. It's gonna be so brutal. It's gonna be so violent.
This is classic Conor Benn, all mouth, no substance. He's barking about ripping Eubank's head off, promising brutality and violence. But where was that energy when they first fought? Eubank Jr. already humbled him once. Empty threats won't save Benn, now they only expose his desperation and deep-seated insecurity.
If something's wrong, if you're doing something wrong, regardless of whether people can see it or not, I'm going to expose you. I don't care about being fined. I don't care about hurting somebody's feelings. I don't care about being singled out. Been singled out my entire life.
Do you think Conor Benn will be better in the second fight?
Yes.
Does that mean that you think that by him being better and there's no more left from Chris Eubank, that Conor Benn's able to bridge the gap, get an outcome in his second fight?
Without a doubt.
You do?
He couldn't have done any more. If he could have knocked out Conor in that fight, he would have done.
Yeah.
He just couldn't get rid of him. And Conor stuck it. So regardless of him being surprised that Conor stuck it out a lot more, he couldn't get rid.
And Eubank Jr. wasted no time firing back with a cold, calculated warning of his own. His words cut sharp, straight from the mindset of a true professional. He's not afraid of fines, boos, or criticism. He thrives on exposure and accountability. Contrast that with Benn, who hides behind excuses and empty talk. This is the difference between a seasoned warrior and a pretender. Johnny Nelson tries to hype Benn as improving, but that's nothing more than clutching at straws. Surviving isn't winning, it just shows that Eubank Jr. let him hang around. When Jr. sharpens his accuracy, Benn won't see the final bell. Nelson might talk up Benn, but the gap between them remains massive.
Race. The guy, firstly, the guy is not well. Secondly, the guy really should be here. But the fact that he's not involved, the fact that he couldn't take any money, the fact that he couldn't be involved in any decisions, stand in front of the cameras, is making him sick as a parrot. So send me that.
6'8", he ain't coming back down to 160. So it's got a very short lifespan, this rematch. It's got to be done. The sooner the better. If I'm being brutally honest, the sooner the rematch happens, in my opinion, it favours Conor Benn, because he's the younger fighter who's took less damage and has had a much lesser career with much less experience. For someone like Chris Eubank Jr., it's going to take a while to turn around, and it's going to take a while to recover, because that was a hard fight for him. He was shook a number of times. He felt the shot. He'd also done the same.
And then Eddie Hearn jumped in, stirring controversy with his take on Eubank's situation. Hearn throws his usual digs, but it's all smoke and mirrors. Eubank Jr. doesn't crave cameras, he craves competition. Benn is the one chasing headlines because that's all he's got left, noise without substance. Hearn's spin won't change the truth. Jr. lives for the fight, while Benn lives for the attention.
Like I say, the fight wasn't a letdown because it was a good fight, but as an event, you won't get a better event than that, and they'll have to go some actually to surpass that, or even equal that. Let's just hope they get the same turnout in terms of the numbers, people going through the live gate and watching that fight, because it was a great event. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. You won't get world title fights that actually are a better event.
Adam Smith suggests that Eubank Jr. has a real shot at redefining his career with another big win, and he's absolutely right. Jr. quotes, Shaz's discipline, experience, and pedigree have always been there, but this fight is about cementing his authority. Yes, Benn supporters cling to the idea that lasting 12 rounds somehow makes him a danger, but that's just desperation talking. Anyone can survive, but not everyone can dominate. Eubank Jr. has already exposed Benn once, and the second meeting will only highlight the gap even more.
Honestly, this guy has zero respect for anything. And I hope people can see through it. Some will, some won't. But if you can't see them, that's a lot of what happened up there was just wrong. So listen, we go to work and we're in to win the fight. It's going to be different this time.
Duke McKenzie is right to say the first fight delivered as an event. The hype, the atmosphere, the energy, it was electric. But strip away the lights and the noise, and what did we actually see? A composed Chris Eubank Jr. dictating the pace, controlling exchanges, and proving he belonged levels above Benn. The problem for Conor is that hype doesn't throw punches. You can't win a rematch on the memory of crowd noise. The question is simple: when the bell rings again, can Benn break Eubank down inside the ropes? The evidence says no.
To say there's been a lot of respect anyway. Personally, I don't like him. You know, he thought I was going to be an easy touch, which is why he fought welterweight. So is there much respect there? Not really, but you know, ultimately, you know, I'm ready to honour my side of the agreement, which was the 2-fight deal, and it's safe to say he's scared. You know, he almost lost. Could have gone either way to a welterweight.
Eddie Hearn lays it bare. Conor Benn shows no respect, and that's been obvious for a long time. Benn hides behind bravado, shouting about revenge and violence, but it only highlights how rattled he truly is. Respect isn't just about manners, it's about acknowledging the craft of the man across from you. Eubank Jr. represents that. Benn thinks aggression will disguise his insecurity, but the truth is clear. In their first clash, he couldn't outthink or outbox Jr., and in the rematch, nothing changes except the stakes.
I do see improvement there for Conor, and I do think the results will be different the other way around in the next fight. I think it'll go the distance all over again.
Conor Benn once again shows why he's more bluster than boxer. He talks about a lack of respect and calls Eubank scared, but let's cut through the noise. Benn was brought up levels against a seasoned middleweight and still couldn't prove his worth. He can whine about weight and excuses all he likes, but the truth is, Eubank Jr. dictated the fight and answered back with composure. Respect isn't demanded, it's earned.
For me, it's a fight that probably means a lot less for boxing than what it does for the actual fighters. You know, the fighters, for them, there's a lot at stake. Conor Benn wants to overturn the decision, and Chris Eubank wants to cement the decision and say, I've done it twice. Bottom line is they're making big bunts, aren't they? Big dollar, and they might as well make money. These are prize fighters. We can't begrudge them making money fighting, because that's what they do. That's why they.
Saying Eubank Jr. can improve is a shallow take. He has reinvented himself multiple times throughout his career. Saying his legs look stiff is nitpicking when the bigger picture shows who controlled the fight. Conor Benn lasting is not improvement. It's endurance masking a lack of breakthrough ability. Jr. was never out of his depth. He fought measured, strategic, and smart. The tape doesn't lie. Eubank Jr. had Benn figured out, neutralized him, and stamped his authority. Carl Froch nails it. This fight isn't about belts, it's about pride, legacy, and proving a point. And in that arena, Chris Eubank Jr. has far more to gain and far less to lose. For Jr., this is about cementing his dominance and shutting Benn down for good. For Benn, it's desperation. Eubank's motivation is legacy, Benn's is revenge. History shows which one stands the test of time. This clash isn't just another fight, it's personal, raw, and about legacy. If Chris Eubank Jr. wins, he cements his dominance, proving once and for all that he's the superior fighter. That victory would silence every Benn excuse and mark Eubank's resurgence as a true contender. But if Conor Benn somehow pulls off the upset, it wouldn't just be redemption, it would be a miracle. The problem for Benn is that revenge fuels emotion, and emotion gets you beaten by composure. So tell us, are you backing Chris Eubank Jr. to finish Benn for good, or do you believe in the upset? Drop your thoughts below.